So this morning I am in Dundee, and which is where I arrived in my last vlog. And I've been here for about a week now, and today is an interesting day because it's a bank holiday Monday, and I'm just in the city exploring my bicycle, and I'm just going around and see the city and see what I see. So this is my third time to Dundee actually. The first time I came through here was on my cycling trip around Scotland, and yeah, it was just completely unintentional really. It was just on the way, passing on the way through. I didn't really have much of a plan in mind while I was cycling. I just knew that when I came here I just wanted to do like a big circle around the country. Didn't really have a plan or any kind of solid idea of where I was headed. So yeah, I was headed from Edinburgh all the way up to Aberdeen, and Dundee just kind of happened to be on the way. And yeah, it's just kind of surprising how you end up in the same places sometimes without any, real purpose or intention. And I've just come back to a place that my friend has shown me last time I was here. It's called the Howth. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's a very old graveyard, about from the 16th century, in the middle of the city. And I think I looked it up once because there's only, it's a small area and maybe a couple of hundred headstones, but I believe I read there's like so many bodies buried here over the centuries, so it's just piled up. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, just went around and taking pictures and stuff, so I've got some really good photos from the last time I was here. And some of these headstones are kind of funny because they're not the most artistically, proficient, I'd say. Some of these are quite worn down. Like, look at these tombstones, just completely shattered. But it looks pretty with all the blooming flowers around. These ones greatly amused me last time I was here. Just some of these skulls are kind of dopey looking. Wonderful, isn't it? It's a good thing I came here on the bank holiday Monday. It's super quiet in the city at the minute. Of course I don't really have much to gauge against it because I haven't been here very often. First time I came here was 2019 in April, and I stayed with a girl who was a student here in a flat just right in the centre of town. So it was kind of funny when I was cycling around. I cycled down to Monifeith, which is a town just on the east coast of Dundee, and just along the waterfront. And I've got so many pictures that I took on my cycling trip in 2019. I was like, oh, I remember that. So I tried to recreate some of the pictures of my bicycle from the same landmarks. And it's kind of interesting to me that I came to the first time I came to the city very instantly, very naively. I didn't even plan my trip to Scotland. I just kind of went, okay, I'm just going to do this vague route, see where I land. No idea what the cities are like, what the landscape is like. No preconceptions, no pre-reading, just want to experience it as it is. And it's been wonderful. And yeah, you kind of pick and choose the things that you want to get to know better. And now that I've come to Dundee for the third time, second time was last year, and now it's the third time, I'm kind of wanting to get to know the city a bit better. So I'm glad I'm here at 9 a.m. because it's going to be hot later on. Luckily I'm staying in an industrial building with quite heavy stone walls, so it stays nice and cool inside. So I thought I'd spend the morning just, exploring before the heat of the day sets in. It's almost noon now and it's definitely starting to warm up a bit. Yeah, I'm very glad I did this in the morning. Currently in another green area, it's called Balgie Hill, which has a observatory on the top. I think it's closed at the minute, but I just want to have a wander around. I just get the lay of the land while I'm here, really. Just cycling about, done like a few circles around the centre of the town. Now kind of, going up the outer sides. But Dundee is a very typical, coastal city in the sense that everything by the waterfront is obviously very low, and it kind of slopes outward from there. So it's kind of surrounded by hills, and One of my friends here said that's probably why Dundee is supposedly one of the driest places in the UK, because all the water that comes from the Atlantic for rainfall kind of hits the west coast first. You know, rains out over Glasgow and all the islands and stuff, and then it comes over here and it kind of hits the hills and kind of hangs there. Between the trees you can see the Tay, which is the big inlet or river that runs through Dundee, and it's almost an estuary, but it's a very, very wide river, so I never quite know where the line is between river and estuary. But yeah, I'm going to climb this hill and see if there's any nice views to be had on top. Yeah, not much of a view from up here because it's all pretty overgrown, but it's still pretty cool to see. So I wonder when this was last open. It's a great spot on top of the hill. So this is the graveyard on top of the hill. I can't believe how silent it is here. I know it's still early in the day, but it's just, you know, it's a free day, wonderfully warm. Too warm for most Scottish people. They're all sitting in their houses sweating. And I'm just enjoying the views. I've seen this place on video and photo before, but I've never actually been here, so it's very interesting seeing it for real. And I'm really enjoying the smells of the spring here. Spring obviously arrives a bit later in Scotland than it does in Spain, because it feels like I've basically got a very extended spring now. Couldn't have had a more perfect day to go explore the city, really. Because yeah, knowing Scotland, this place can get pretty rainy and horrible most of the time, so I think I'm a lucky bastard being here. Let's see if I can find a place where the trees are cleared a bit, because it's pretty dense down here, so it's quite hard to see across the city. You can kind of see between everything, but it's pretty overgrown. So I'm just trying to get my bearings of the surroundings. So I think those hills down there are probably the Sidlaws, which are the kind of the bowl shape that Dundee forms with the Tay. I don't really know because it's hard to just judge any distance from here. So when I was here last summer, my friend took me up to a place called Tullybacket, which is where there's like a beautiful ridge. When you climb on top of it, you can see the whole city. Yeah, down here I've already been up several hills now, so that's going to be fun. I'm planning to go down to the waterfront in a bit and have a look down, just cycle back towards the centre of town. Don't want to go too far because it's going to be heating up very briefly. Like in about 2 p.m. it's going to be too hot to cycle around. It's only going to be 24 degrees, but oh my god, I'm already sweating. But I'm greatly enjoying the view here, and in the shade it's just so pleasant. I really hope that lots of people are having a picnic today. Let's have a look across the Tay. So yeah, that's the water coming into Dundee, and it's technically a river apparently, but it's pretty wide for a river. That could rival most Dutch rivers. Estuaries like these can remind me of Zeeland, which is the southernmost province in the Netherlands, or one of the, and it borders the ocean, and it's basically where all the big rivers kind of, you know, end their course. And it's a swamp country, but it's not quite like this because there's obviously no hills overlooking the sides of the waters, so it's all sandbanks and waterworks, because they have all the the dams protecting the land. Today I drove across the estuary to the other side of the Tay, which is where Tayport is, and you can see behind me that's Dundee, running all the way along the banks there. I just decided to come out and take my van for a little spin. It's only like a 15-minute drive, it's really close, but I just wanted to go out and see this area. Could have just picked any place, but I thought you might as well go explore some new place I haven't been yet. And it's right around the corner, really. So I parked up at the village nearby, and I'm walking out towards the nature reserve, which is that way. And then you got the forest going this way. So yeah, it's a great day for a little walk, because as you can see, I'm dressed a bit more warmly today. It's a little bit colder than it was the last couple of days, but the warm weather will return. It's just kind of like a freak day. That's what you get in Scotland, right? You get like strange days where it's just suddenly a little bit colder. That's just the way of it. And just down here, I was reading the signs up on the parking. And you see all these big concrete blocks all along here, which used to be tank traps. And the tank traps are kind of interesting because they used to be right on the waterline. But as you can see, there's loads of space behind it. So the Tay is basically washed so much sand along the shore, that the shorelines kind of grew outward from where the tank traps used to be in the World War. And now these random concrete blocks that just kind of mark the landscape as a weird reminder. So that's the way I cycled when I was in Scotland. I just followed the whole coastal path up to Aberdeen. So when I actually came through Fife, which is this area, I kind of cut straight through the middle. So from Edinburgh, I kind of got through the centre of the county instead of taking the coastal path, because that's a lot longer. If you had to go all the way around Fife, you'd spend a week just doing that, I think. Well, at my pace anyway. So I've been in Scotland for about a week and a bit now, which has been absolutely amazing. I've done a little bit of stuff, but honestly it's just been really fun hanging out with friends and just getting to socialise with people. And in the meantime, while I've been down at the studio, I've been streaming, which has been a fun new experience. It's not something I'm completely unfamiliar with, because I used to stream while drawing a lot. But it's the first time I'm streaming with my face in it and like actually speaking to the camera and speaking to people, which is quite a fun little thing to experience. And I thought me learning to tattoo, it would be a fantastic idea to just do that as a practice, my fake sheets and stream that. Yeah, it's just been, I got a couple of random people show up on the stream, and it's been really fun just explaining what I'm doing and rambling on about, about all the kind of topics that people throw my way. It's really fun back and forth. I wish it's something I could do more often, but it's not something that I think is very sustainable in the way that I live. If I'm out there with a patchy reception, I won't be also practicing tattooing like all the time, like I'll probably, once I get good at tattooing, I will keep practicing to kind of top of my skill level, but I won't be like completely like dedicated to the fake skins, and hopefully get plenty of practice on like real people. That's of course the main point of all this. But today I thought I'd spend the morning, because I'm still a little bit groggy feeling. I've not been sleeping very well. So I got up fairly early this morning. I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go drive out to Tayport and have a little wander, like freshen myself up with some nice brisk air. So it gets a little bit sandier here because I'm walking along the reserve. So even though it's an overcast day, it's just stunning. So much to see. There's a variety in the landscape if you really pay close attention. I think they're called oyster catchers in English. And black and white birds with red beaks. That's Tensmere Forest, I believe it's called. Looks pretty dark inside of it. Very dense pine forest. Oh, something else what I've done while I'm here is re-spray paint my boots. These are the ones I actually spray painted while I was here last time in the summer. But the paint are completely worn off. Luckily my friend still had the same colours of the spray can, so spent an afternoon doing that. It was really fun. Fits with the rest of my outfit. I'm a bit colourful at the minute, so leaning into that vibe.